What if someone told you that Europe, as we know it, could be completely gone in just a few years?
Destroyed.
Wiped off the map.
Yeah.
Would you believe them?
I mean, it depends who told me, right?
Okay, fair point.
If it was like, my neighbor, I don't know if I'd believe them.
Yeah.
But what if it was someone who was said to have predicted some of the most significant events in recent history?
Like the 9/11 attacks or the death of Princess Diana.
Exactly.
That would definitely give me pause.
Well, that's what we're looking at today on Darkest Color.
We're talking about the predictions of Baba Vanga, the blind mystic of Bulgaria.
She was born in 1911 and died in 1996, but she left behind a legacy of prophecies, some of which have been eerily accurate.
And some of her most debated predictions revolve around the year 2025.
Yeah, that's right.
So let's start with Europe, shall we?
Sure.
Baba Vanga predicted that Europe would face some pretty intense internal strife, leading to a massive decrease in its population.
It's a chilling prediction, especially when we consider everything that's going on in the world right now.
Yeah, we have the war in Ukraine, rising tensions between global superpowers, and a general sense of unease that just seems to be growing.
It's like the world is holding its breath, waiting for something to happen.
But what's interesting about Baba Vanga's prediction is that she doesn't specify what kind of strife will bring about Europe's downfall.
Right. It could be war, economic collapse, social upheaval, or something else entirely.
And that vagueness makes it all the more unsettling because it makes you question everything.
Absolutely.
Every headline, every political decision, every conflict takes on a new meaning when you view it through the lens of this prophecy.
It's almost like she's saying, pay attention, the seeds of destruction might already be planted.
And that's a pretty sobering thought.
It is, but Baba Vanga's predictions for 2025 aren't all doom and gloom.
Oh, right.
She also predicted some incredible advancements in science and medicine.
Like what?
Well, for example, she saw the creation of lab-grown organs.
Wow, imagine a world where organ donation waiting lists are a thing of the past.
Exactly.
That'd be incredible.
She also predicted revolutionary cures for diseases that are currently incurable.
Like cancer.
Yes, cancer and potentially others.
That could significantly extend human lifespans.
Absolutely.
That's a really interesting contrast, the potential for both destruction and incredible progress happening simultaneously.
It is.
It's like we're standing at a crossroads, one path leading to devastation and the other to a future that we can barely even imagine.
Yeah, it's almost like she's presenting us with a choice.
A choice.
Yeah. Will we succumb to our darker impulses and bring about our own destruction, or will we embrace the potential for progress and create a better world?
Wow. That's a lot to think about.
It is, and we've only just scratched the surface of Baba Vanga's 2025 predictions.
Or even more.
Oh, yeah.
Like what?
Well, how about the possibility of human telepathy becoming a reality or contact with extraterrestrial life during a major sporting event?
Wait, hold on. You're saying she predicted aliens landing during, like, the World Cup or something?
Or the Olympics, or maybe even the Super Bowl. Who knows?
This is getting wild.
I know, right? Buckle up, because we're just getting started.
Okay, I'm ready. Tell me everything.
All right, so let's delve into these mind-bending possibilities, starting with telepathy.
Okay, so imagine a world where you can communicate instantly with anyone just by thinking.
No more misunderstandings, no more awkward silences, just pure thought-to-thought connection.
But what about privacy? Could you keep your thoughts to yourself if you wanted to?
That's a good question, and one that we'll definitely need to explore.
Because that sounds kind of terrifying if you ask me.
Yeah, it does raise some serious ethical concerns.
But let's move on to the aliens for a second.
Okay.
Contact with extraterrestrial life during a major sporting event.
I mean, can you imagine the scene?
The billions of people around the world tuned in to watch their favorite teams or athletes compete, and suddenly something appears in the sky.
The game stops, everyone's looking up their jaws on the floor.
It would be absolute chaos.
Complete pandemonium, but also maybe the most unifying event in human history.
Yeah, it's hard to say how we would react as a species.
Would we welcome them with open arms, or would we see them as a threat?
And how would this contact change our understanding of our place in the universe?
It's mind-boggling to even think about.
It's like something out of a science fiction movie. But according to Baba Vanga, it could become our reality in 2025.
And it's not even her most ominous prediction for that year.
There's more.
Oh, yeah. Baba Vanga also predicted the beginning of a global crisis in 2025.
What kind of crisis?
She didn't specify, but some interpret it as the start of an apocalypse, or at least a series of catastrophic events that could reshape the world as we know it.
That's pretty heavy.
It is, and it's definitely a prediction that's worth exploring in more depth.
So we've got potential destruction, incredible scientific advancements, telepathy, aliens, and a global crisis all converging in 2025.
It sounds like a recipe for disaster.
Or maybe the catalyst for something truly extraordinary.
Who knows? But one thing's for sure, 2025 is shaping up to be a pivotal year.
A year that could change the course of human history forever.
And we'll be right here to break it all down for you. You know what's funny, isn't it?
What's that?
How these predictions, no matter how out there they seem,
Yeah.
they kind of tap into these deep-seated anxieties we have about the future.
Like she's giving voice to the things that we're already secretly worried about.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, think about it. The news is constantly bombarding us with stories about conflict and uncertainty.
Climate change, economic instability, political polarization.
It's like the world is on edge just waiting for the other shoe to drop.
And social media doesn't exactly help, does it?
No, not at all.
It's like a constant stream of negativity and fear-mongering.
It makes you wonder if we're just hardwired to focus on the negative.
Maybe, but I also think there's a sense of wonder mixed in with all that anxiety.
Wonder?
Yeah, a desire for something more, something beyond our everyday reality.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Like, we're fascinated by these predictions about aliens and telepathy because they offer a glimpse into a world that's both familiar and completely unknown.
They challenge our perceptions of what's possible.
Exactly.
And maybe they also reflect a longing for connection, something deeper and more meaningful than what we're currently experiencing.
I think you're right.
It's like we're searching for answers to questions we haven't even fully formed yet.
And these predictions, whether we believe them or not, they force us to confront those questions.
They make us think about the kind of future we want to create.
Exactly.
Because ultimately, the future isn't predetermined. It's a choice.
A choice we make every single day with every decision, every action.
So maybe instead of getting bogged down in the fear and the what-ifs, we should focus on what we can control.
Our own thoughts, our own actions, our own contributions to the world.
Because even small acts of kindness and compassion can have a ripple effect.
Absolutely.
They can create positive change that extends far beyond ourselves.
So while we can't predict the future with certainty, we can choose to approach it with hope and a commitment to making the world a better place.
I like that.
It's a more empowering perspective, isn't it?
Definitely.
Instead of feeling helpless in the face of uncertainty, we become active participants in shaping our own destiny.
And who knows, maybe that's the real message behind Baba Vanga's predictions.
Maybe she wasn't trying to predict the future at all.
Maybe she was trying to inspire us to create it.
To wake us up to the power we have within ourselves to shape our own reality.
That's a pretty profound thought.
It is, and it's one that I think is worth holding on to as we navigate the complexities of the 21st century.
Agreed. So we've talked about destruction, progress, aliens, telepathy, and even a global crisis.
It's a lot to take in.
It really is.
But I think the most important thing to remember is that the future isn't set in stone.
Right.
It's not some predetermined path that we're just passively following along.
We have a say in what happens next.
Absolutely. Every choice we make, every action we take shapes the world around us.
So maybe instead of fearing the future, we should embrace the possibility that we can actually change it.
I think that's a much healthier way to look at it.
So as we stand here on the brink of 2025, with all its uncertainty and potential, what do we do?
Well, I think the first step is to become more aware of the choices we're making.
Okay, how do we do that?
By asking ourselves some tough questions. What kind of world do we want to live in?
What are our values?
What are we willing to fight for?
And then, once we have some answers, we need to start taking action.
Even small actions can make a difference.
Like what?
Like being kind to our neighbors.
Volunteering in our communities.
Speaking out against injustice.
Supporting causes we believe in.
It's about recognizing that we're all connected and that our actions have consequences.
And that even in the face of overwhelming challenges, we still have the power to make a positive impact.
So yeah, Baba Vanga's predictions might be unsettling.
They might make us question everything we thought we knew about the world.
But maybe that's the point.
Maybe she was trying to shake us out of our complacency.
To make us realize that the future is in our hands.
And that it's up to us to decide what kind of world we want to leave behind for generations to come.
So let's choose wisely.
If you found this exploration of Baba Vanga's predictions interesting, be sure to subscribe for more thought-provoking discussions on the Darkest Color podcast.